Hello, welcome back to the channel and the craft room and today's video. For today's video I had planned to introduce you to one of our new original designs, but last week we actually went over 1,000 subscribers, so thank you to everyone that's liked, shared and subscribed to the channel. It really does help, and if you haven't yet, please do. It'll let you know when we do new stuff, and if you want you can go over to the community tab and suggest things that you'd like a video on. We really don't mind. Okay, so what I thought once that happened is I would change the video I was going to do slightly to include a giveaway for you as my subscribers. So what I'm going to do, as I was making the video up and developing the pattern, I did a few samples just to make sure it worked and what it looked like with different yarns. So I'll show you a couple of those first. We've got this one here. This one has been done with cashmere. This is the Dolce cashmere from Hobby. And this one is a nice neck one, just so that you can like wear it with a jacket or something when it's slightly cold. Comes up lovely when it's been steam blocked. So we've got that one. We have this lovely one here done by Hank of Peyton's Artistry. This one is like a luxury 4-ply, almost looks like it's hand painted. So that's another neck one. This one also has little tiny tassels on it. So soft and silky. And then we've got this lovely big one. Let me unfold it for you. This is 2 balls of Peyton Sierra. And if you're looking at the written pattern that I've also done, there's pictures of these in the pattern as well, so you can have a gauge on how big they turn out to be. This yarn also goes lovely, soft and silky when it's been blocked, which all of these have been. So that's a lovely one. That's a nice big one. And then the last one is this one that I'm doing with a gradient yarn. Let me hold it up the right way, this way. Hang on, here we go. And this is done with a 4-strand gradient yarn, but I'm doing it with a slightly larger hook, so it's got a lovely drape to it. It's coming up lovely. But what I'm also doing with this one is I am attaching beads as I go. And I've worked out a little hack for this, so I'm also going to release a short video showing you how to add beads to your work. Not necessarily this, any bead, any bit of work. That'll be coming out soon too. And this is the yarn that it's going to end up having towards the edge. So this is 2 days work, by the way. I only decided 2 days ago that I was going to offer you guys this one as well. So in 2 days I got this much done. So they're the 4 shawls that I have that I'm going to put into the giveaway. Now, only one of them is going to be given away, and I will tell you at the end how you can win it. I'm also offering 5 digital copies of the written pattern to win. Also tell you that at the end how you can win that. So from that deal, we will now go to the tutorial so you can see how to make your own. All right, so let us start with the tutorial. I'm going to be using this Sierra yarn. I have 2 balls of it, and I'm going to be using a slightly larger hook. I'm going to use a 5.5. First thing you want to do is do a slip knot. There's all different ways to do slip knots. Millions of them. This is just the way I do. Then you want to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Go back into the base of the chain and do a double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. We do this on every row. We always chain up 3 and turn the work over from left to right. So double crochet into the base of that chain, and then you want to do a double crochet into the top of the chain 3. Now you're going to be doing this a lot, so have a good look at what the chain looks like so you can put it in the right spot. And chain 3 again, and turn the work over. That's the first row done. Into the base of the chain, double crochet, and then you want to put a double crochet into the next double crochet from the row below. And then last one into the chain, the top of the chain 3 from the previous row. And then lastly, this one is going to go around the chain 3, so into the bigger hole that's below the last double crochet you just did. I am sorry, I'm slowly going off the screen because my yarn keeps knotting. Alright, I'm back again. So we're going to chain 3. There's 5 stitches on that row. Or it should be 5 stitches. So chain 3, turn it over. Double crochet into the base of the chain. And another one. This gives us our first cluster. Cluster is 3 double crochets into the same spot. We are counting our chain ups as a double crochet. So now we skip that one and we go into the next one. We want to get 4 single crochets at this end of the piece. So we're making a triangle. One side will always have clusters. The other side will always have 4 single crochets. The last 2 are in the top of the chain. So put 2 in here. So you'll know what side you're doing because one side will have 2 double crochets. The other one will have clusters. And chain up 3 once again, turn it over, alright, so into there. We only ever put 4, the first one is always a pair, the chain up and the one into a base, and then 2 more, and then we always skip the next one, so wait till you got 4. And then put a loop on your hook, and you're going to skip that one and go into the big hole that's next to the cluster. That hole has been made by the skipped stitch in the row below, and we've just skipped a stitch now, so that'll put for the next row. So that's our first cluster, and then the next one is in the chain 3 right at the end. So get into the top chain, untangle the yarn again. So 1, 2, and 3. Now this bit is what you do different on this side of your shawl. This is going to start making your decorative edge. So we've got 2 clusters and 4 solitary double crochets. We've just done 1 chained one, and now we want to slip stitch across the top of the last 3 double crochets we did, so we're going to get to the gap between the clusters. That's 3, and then we're going to slip stitch into the big hole down there between the clusters. Chain up 3 and put the other 2 double crochets that make that cluster into the same hole. Now every 2 rows will have the same amount of clusters in them, and you see there we've made our first decorative triangle for the edge. Now we want to go into the gap where we skipped a stitch on the row below and do another cluster. So now this row and the row below both have 2 clusters in them. Skip a stitch, skipping that one, go into this one. And we want to put 4 here, 2 singles and then 2 into the top of the chain 3 from the row below. And that one. So at this end we always chain up 3. So we going like that, so chain up 3, 2 and 3, turn it over, Another one into the base of the chain. This side is now your neck edge, is closest to your neck. And 2 more. That makes our 4 at the neck edge. It gives you a nice soft edge against your neck as well. So definitely 4. And then we want to skip that one, go into the big hole from the row of 4 where we skipped a stitch. So this row will now have 3 clusters in it, and you might think, where are we going to put that? But what we're going to do is we do the 2 we already have, and then the last one goes into the chain 3 at the end like we did 2 rows before. And here we go, into the chain 3. So you really got to remember mainly what's on the ends, and they are both different, so you should be able to visually see what you're meant to do because they're so different. So now we're just going to chain 1, turn it over, and then we don't do that. We slip stitch back 3 to the last gap between clusters, and that will give us our second decorative triangle at the edge. If you're wanting to put beads in, I will be releasing a short on how to put the beads in as you go, but you put them in where you do that chain 1. So here we're just doing chaining up 3, ready for the next cluster. So this row here and the row before are the 2 that you repeat until your shawl is the size that you want. And then I will be adding on how to do the last row so the other side looks like our decorative edge side. So this row should also have 3. So as I said before, you'll have every 2 rows will have the same amount of clusters. Putting our last cluster into the gap from the skipped double crochet from the row before. This is our row 7, so this one and the row before are the ones that we keep repeating. Skip a stitch and do our last 4 double crochets, 2 singles and then 2 into the chain 3 at the very end. So you're going to get really good at putting stitches into your chain 3. Don't put them around the chain, put them in the chain. And then chain 3, turn it over and keep going. And that is how you do the body of the shawl. Coming up next will be how to do the decorative edge that will match it. It's just showing you that you have 2 row repeats of the same amount of clusters. And there you go, all done. All right, we're back and I have done the bulk of the shawl. I used nearly 2 full balls of this Sierra. It's in this colorway. I'll hold that still so you can read it. Put my hand on it, that might help. There it is. Okay. I'm also using a 5.5 hook. And I have stopped at the neck edge. So we started down here. This is our beginning. And as we went along, we have a flat edge, which is the side that goes closest to your neck. And then we have our decorative edge that we made as we went along. So what we have to do now is we need to finish off the edge we've been working on so it matches this decorative edge. So you need to stop at the neck edge when you have enough yarn to do at least 2 more rows, because these edges, it eats a little bit more up than a single row does. So if you want to do things like tassels or fringing, you're going to need more yarn, but you need at least enough to do 2 rows to do the edging. This is what I have left. I have weighed it and I know that it will do the amount I need. You may have to go all the way to the end of your yarn and then unravel 2 rows to be sure you've made it. But you need to be stopping on the neck edge, and you need to have enough to do it. So we'll put that up there. Now when you read the pattern, the neck edge, you will have put a single chain right at the end, which is right there. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to slip stitch back 6. So where we want to end up is the middle DC on the first cluster that we come across. Okay, so we want to end there, and it should be 6. So that's 2, 3, just slip stitching, nothing hard. 4, 5, and 6. All right, so that has matched up this first little bit we've got here. We've got a little bit of straight edge, and then we have the spike, or the triangle's a better word. So now we've got to make the triangle. So we're going to chain 3, 2, and 3. Now we want to make a double crochet into the same DC that we did our last slip stitch into, and actually want to put 2 in there. So we've done that. So that's basically 3, if you count the chain, 3 DCs into that space, and then you want to slip stitch into the gap between the cluster you're working out of and the next one. And what that does is it tips the triangle over so that it matches the look of that triangle. See, they look fairly similar. Not exactly similar, but fairly. So anyway, that's our first triangle. I'm going to do another one so I can show you a bit better. So bring it up. We're in the gap between the clusters, and we're going to slip stitch across 2 because we want to be in the middle DC of the cluster on the, right here. We chain up 3, 2, 3. That gives us the height of the DCs. And then we want to put 2 into the same hole, the same stitch that we slip stitched 2. So we're doing that like so. This thing is not focusing. And now we want to slip stitch into the next cluster gap. And so we now have 2 spikes. And we want to keep on going along here until we get to the second last cluster before the end, and that's where I'll come back and I'll show you how to do the very end bit. Yep. All right, so I've got to the end, well, one off the end, and we've gone all the way down, putting the spikes on, and I'm in the last, well, the second last cluster space, and I've just slip stitched into it. So we're just going to go 1 slip stitch and 2 slip stitch, chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 double crochets into the same hole, and we slip stitch into the last cluster space. And this is the only bit that's different. We will slip stitch in every stitch to the end, okay? So that will be 3, so that's 1, 2, and 3. And what that does is it makes that point stay pointy. We'll just pull this a little bit bigger. Take the hook off. Put our ball, what's left of our ball of yarn, through the hole just to secure that until I can weave the end in. So that's put a nice little trio of triangles right at the bottom edge. This is the bit that hangs over your butt, so you want to have it looking nice. And then this is how much yarn I had left. Not very much. I probably couldn't get tassels out of this, but at least I had enough to finish the fringing. So that is the Rapids shawl all finished. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and it was easier to follow. Thank you everyone that has subscribed and liked and shared, and if you haven't, please do. It does help. And if you would like to win either a digital copy of this pattern or an actual one of the physical shawls that I've made sent to you, the information will be at the end of this video, and you enter through the community tab on my channel. So I will see you at the end bit. I hope the tutorial was clear enough for you and you understood what you have to do to make your own Rapids shawl. And now I'll explain the giveaway to you. I'll try to anyway. After this video has been put out, I will do a post over on the community tab, and I will have pictures of all the shawls, and we will give them names. So like this big one, this one will be called Sierra. You've got to remember that. If you like this big one, that's the name you have to write on your comment to try and win it. This one will be Artistry. So we're going by what the yarn is called. So if you'd like this nice silky one, you write the word Artistry. I know I'm sounding really silly, but it's the only way we can think to do it. If you'd like to win the Cashmere one, write Cashmere. And then lastly, if you would like to win the Gradient one, write the word Gradient. So as I said, pictures of all of these will be in the community tab, and it's the first person to write in a comment which shawl they would like, and that person will win the shawl they nominate. So that's to win the shawl. To win one of the 5 digital copies of the written pattern, you just need to write the word pattern in the comment section on the same post. And what I'll do, the pattern giveaway will run until I finish this shawl. And I will be posting on the community tab when this shawl is finished. So after that time, commenting will be turned off, and I will pick randomly 5 people who have written the word pattern, and I will let you know how to get your copy of the pattern from there. So I hope that's clear. It'll be all in the community tab. You just need to go there and have a go. You might win one. And I think that is all for this video. I really hope you like the Rapids shawl. I did enjoy making it, and everyone that's tried it has enjoyed making it. It's a good fallback pattern, a basic, so you can make something up quickly if you'd like to. And please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.